Okay, this will be an interesting one. However mundane it is, we can still make it look really nice. Going at map mode for this. Actually, no, that may not be good enough. Going here. Going to enlarge this 400. Going to add a bit of contrast to this one. Okay, let's see what we have to offer. What we have here is a packet of Coles Paperclips. Yeah, very officey little staple, without being staples, of course. Going to use the front of it, I think. Going to use the front. But basically, yes, paperclips, they're an important part of an office. We still have a need for paper, and paperclips are really... I'm actually thinking the back of it looks better, but it might just shift. Leave it like that. But basically, yeah, they're like a part of an it's an integral part of a office, of an office, I think. Yeah. And basically, yeah, you can't have an office, even in this day and age, without paperclips. I remember my mum used to tell me that when I was a 5 or a 4-year-old, I think I was a 5-year-old, that I really liked paperclips, and I used to play with them and shit. Like when I used to visit my dad's work, I think it was my dad's work. Maybe we'll turn it over and see if we can hopefully have those paperclips there, roughly in that nice little position. But basically, yeah, paperclips. I was fascinated with them when I was a kid. For some reason, I just went through a little phase. But what's really strange is that in the future, I see myself becoming the CEO of a future photocopier company. We're going to build the best photocopiers man has ever seen. And basically, I'm going to be working as a CEO. I'm going to be a CEO of a future photocopier company. And yes, we're going to need paperclips. So I don't know how that happened. It was interesting. But basically, I can't become a CEO now because one of the main problems I face is I have brain damage at birth. I had a cord around my neck and I came out a breech baby. And basically, that's cut the oxygen to the brain, and the hippocampus and the short-term memory are extremely sensitive to lack of oxygen, and I have trouble remembering things and shit like that. So basically, there'll be technology that'll fix the damage that was done to my brain at birth, and then I'll be able to become not just a CEO but a scientist, because basically I want to find solutions to practical scientific problems such as climate change, because climate change is a big problem that needs to be addressed, and there just doesn't seem to be enough people to help somehow mitigate it, or maybe prevent it, or should I say fix it, find a solution to it, because we're not going to fucking stop polluting, because all these money fucking creeps with money but no knowledge of the planet or the desire to help the planet and help the human race. They just care about making loads of money, and they just don't give a flying F about, or flying fuck, if you must hear my language. And basically, yeah, they just don't care. But basically, I want to make a lot of money building a photocopier that's environmentally sustainable, The features of that would be a photocopier machine where the hardware or the copier itself will last 60 years, not just 5 years, which I was told this one would last. So I'm basically thinking long term. So we make a machine that stays in service for 60 years. And then to make it easy to pull them, to make it easy to recycle, we design the ability, we make a design of the photocopier so easy to make it easy to recycle, so that at the end of 60 years, it'll be easy to pull it apart and to batch all the materials like plastics, metals. But we're not going to use, another feature also is we're not going to use much plastic. We're going to cut back on the use of plastic. We're going to try and use more metal, for example, instead of plastics. No fucking plastic panels like this, for example. There's just so much I've got to think about. I'm just trying to, off the top of my head, tell you guys what my dream photocopier is. And it's going to be an artificially intelligent machine, so that means it'll make it easy to use. It'll be an easy to use device. And basically, yeah, and the money I get from all of this, all the sales of these and servicing of these machines is basic, or should I say, of course it's going to have a service agreement. You're not going to pay for the servicing yourself unless, of course, you don't want it with a service agreement. Sorry to state the obvious, folks. But basically, it's got to be, how should I put it? I'm lost for words, folks. Sometimes I do get lost for words. I do, folks. I really do. But basically, we got to think of the planet, and we got to think. Yeah, another thing also is that when we don't over automate the facility, we don't fill the whole factory floor full of robots and other equipment that's meant to replace human labour. We've got to keep as many people in work as possible, because people love to work, and we want people to enjoy themselves. You know, to not, yeah, because we need to create jobs. That's what I want to do, is be a creator of jobs. And also in creating these jobs, we want to also pay the people who work on the factory floor, for example. We want to pay them a decent wage, a wage that basically says thank you for being a diligent worker for whatever the name the photocopier company will be. So, you know, you've got to basically make the workplace a happy place and make sure the workers get paid a decent wage instead of being treated like slaves. So we're not going to send this shit off to China. No, we're not going to offshore our fucking labour. And we're not going to use slave labour, which is why people in power, like CEOs, typically offshore things, because it's cheaper labour, cheap, nasty, dehumanising labour. And we just can't have that. I don't want that, folks. I don't want my workers to be treated like shit like that, to be disrespected. I want my workers to be happy. And yeah, and then of course, the money I earn from all this innovation, I'll be able to afford scientific experiments like how to fix climate change and how to harness the power of lightning as a renewable energy source. You know, there's all sorts of shit that I'd like to do to make a happier planet and a safer, cleaner, greener planet. So yeah, I just really want to make a difference, folks. And it just seems kind of odd that as a little child I was playing around with paperclips as if I knew something was on the horizon. But then I don't know. I don't know what the future exactly holds. I'm only just surmising as to what I'm hoping will happen to me when I get older. And basically, I want to make a difference. I really want to make something of myself, and I want to make the world a happier, healthier place for everyone, not just the elite, not just the rich. I just can't do that, folks. I'm just not interested in hurting the planet and the human race any more than we already have. So yeah. Now let's see how we go with this. See, there's paper clips. Funny little things. Pretty clever little design when you think about it. So I think that's going to be the centre of the job. But yeah, you just got to think for the future, folks. You know, think of the future. It's important that we try to plan to make the world happy and green place for everyone, especially people in the future who are going to inherit whatever we do with the planet. It looks pretty grim at the moment with all this climate change, and we've just had coronavirus, which is partially caused by climate change or deforestation and bad wildlife management, shit like that, I've read. So the coronavirus could be attributed to the love of money, whether it be direct or indirect or a bit of both. But basically, yeah, we have to fucking well, pardon my language, I know, I've got a potty mouth, folks, yes, I know. But basically, we got to look after our planet for the future of mankind. Because, you know, everyone deserves a fair go in this world, folks. Everyone deserves to have a life to call their own, you know, but not to be selfish about it. We've all got to contribute. We use our talents and whatever we're good at for the common good of mankind. Now that looks really quite nice. I think now we can call it quits. Yeah, gotta go.